Vern, you might want to take the earpiece out. This might be loud. Ah.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back. Yeah. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds. Talking out loud so proud, you better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south. Never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Fucking fight back.
Good evening, everybody. Mad Max, good to see you here. So we're going to do this little town hall of Aguilar, or the town meeting of Aguilar. I should say it was canceled. They didn't have enough people, so we're gonna hold our own little meeting. Say hi, introduce ourselves, and I've got somebody special to bring up. We finally got it working. We've got Bow, Good Citizen Media, with us.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for being here. Good to see y'all.
Definitely great to see everybody.
Good to see you with your shirt off, you people. I know that's what brings the views.
Right?
I mean,
you can't deprive people of their fucking eye candy, man. I mean, you got to rub the nipple every once in a while.
Every once in a while. It can't hurt.
No. So we also have another special guest with us. Somebody that
is it Tyra? Is it Tyra? Did Tyra get all of you? Is that the special guest tonight?
The
mayor, maybe?
You want to ruin that? Oh, okay. No, it's not Tyra. I wish it was Tyra. Might be the mayor. I mean, no, it's not the mayor. It's not the mayor. I'm sorry to give everybody's hopes up. It's not the mayor. How about Virgil? Is it Virgil, the water guy, the water specialist?
Yeah, that'd be cool. We could learn a lot from him.
We would learn a lot from him. I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of information if Tyra would let him speak.
Oh. Well, then, who is the special guest, you people?
I got a very special guest here. His name is Vern. Hey, Vern.
Hey,
What's
how
going
you
on,
guys
Vern?
doing?
Hey, Ron.
Love
This
the
is
Thanks for
Vern and
coming
introduction.
on the
Sean.
show.
Welcome. Sorry.
Were
This
we
is
hard to get a hold of?
No, you know what? You guys were pretty easy to find on the internet after I found out about you.
Okay, all right. Well, we haven't heard from anybody else from Aguilar. So, as far as the council or the mayor or administration, no return emails, no nothing. So I was wondering if we were just hard to contact or something.
So good luck on getting in touch with them.
Thank you.
yeah. We've been hearing. We've been hearing not only us, but apparently a couple of people have called from the live, and they haven't been able to get through. So we were just wondering if they were closed all week.
No, just Friday.
Just Friday. So they disconnected the phones on us, good citizen. You hear that? They disconnected the phones on us.
I'm wondering. They don't want to talk.
No, not at all. Not from what I hear. But Vernon, please, would you introduce yourself? Let everybody here know who you are, where you've been, what you've done. Just give us a little bit of background on yourself, please.
A bit of background. I have a military background, Vietnam, uh, the commander of the American Legion post here. I'm on the town council. I do a lot of volunteer work. I was involved with the citizens of Aguilar, running a food kitchen for the folks here, and just a resident of the town trying to get along with everyone. Now, that's a lie. I'm a citizen of the town.
Nice.
Yeah,
Awesome.
you can't get along with everyone. But
Yeah. You can try. It ain't gonna happen. You can't get along
Yeah, I
with
gave up
everybody.
trying. You know what? It's got to where the attacks come in so much from a small group. I don't even try to get along with them anymore. In court, they said that I was a crusty character, I believe. Yeah, so,
Wow. That's a crusty character.
well, yeah, I'm pretty outspoken.
Well, I mean, people are afraid of outspoken because outspoken causes problems, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you people that don't want anything to come out of their town, they don't like people that have big mouths or cameras. We've made that abundantly clear, right? They don't like cameras at all.
Yeah, well, that surprised me. I've watched the video, and man, you from Friday afternoon until Monday morning, I was getting call after call and text after text. I was sent Facebook tags that, where everyone thought that, the three of us have dinner all the time. And I'm trying to tell
yeah,
them,
yeah,
you know, I don't
I
know these
noticed
guys.
that.
I don't know who called them but thankfully you're getting the attention of the people here, and that's what's important.
Well, that's
You
all
know,
we
it's
wanted was the attention of the people, man, because obviously the attention of the people was missing because there's just way too much going on. I mean, apparently, Vernon, why don't you just elaborate on some of the ordinances that Tyra has put into place?
well, a lot of what people don't know is that these ordinances, and they try to come in and they'll read the headline to the ordinance and not know what is 6 pages into it that's a violation of your First Amendment rights. They've gone so far as to I have to get permission to speak to my constituents, and she has to approve what I say to them. You know what? And you could bring up the crusty part. There ain't no fucking way in hell that's going to happen. It's I've never been able to be controlled very well, and this town is not going to make my thoughts and decisions for me. Is I'm
I don't
too
know
old
about
for
I don't
that.
know about Krusty. I don't know about Krusty, but Joe Cool wants to know if you got some chicken grease on your lands.
You're a bit fuzzy there.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks
I
for
see
being
that,
here,
man.
Joe
I see
Cool.
that. Yeah, it's probably from the porn stations, It's
That's
yeah,
funny.
It's
might be
all
Joe
right,
Cool.
Vern. Joe Cool's just trolling with you a little bit. It's always good when Joe Cool trolls you.
Right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Why?
He likes.
He's the reason I was looking for that straw for the interview. I was going to get my hat and the straw.
My trucker hat's inside. I got to go inside for my trucker hat. But I don't know if anybody caught my trucker hat, but my trucker hat says camel towing. We'll pull it out when it's stuck in a tight spot.
Right, caught the hat and the sleeveless shirt.
Oh
It was
man, I
just
mean, I
needing a
broke it
straw.
all out for him. I broke it all out for him, bro. I think it was just too much. I think that's what really like sent her inside was the fact that I took off my shirt. I had the cut off shirt. But then again, my shirt also had Krusty the Clown with two thumbs up saying,
I
"Warning, I
did see that.
disappoint everybody."
Yeah. Well, I'm one of them who knows who Krusty the Clown is. So,
Right?
hey, this is a good town. This Aguilar is really a good town. It's
A
just
wonderful guy.
leadership here is, we just can't live under a tyranny. It's crazy that we don't have the right to even express ourselves. We don't have the right to record anything, and if the administrator says something, then it's the law. There's a process to passing an ordinance, which becomes a town law. And most of the power that she has are snuck in behind everyone's back because there's never been a reading of the ordinance or a posting so that people know what they're even agreeing to.
Right.
One, yeah, this one that they tried getting me on my bus, they lost against me in court here the other day. Then on the bus, they wanted to ban it from being on the street completely by putting a weight class on the vehicles that could park in a residential area. Well, they put that weight at 7,000 pounds. Now, remind you that we're a 470 people town, we're a small community, and a 3/4 ton truck weighs 8,000 pounds.
Right.
So they essentially blocked anyone from having a 3/4 ton truck from parking in front of their house in a farming community.
Oh man, I'm sure they'd hate to see the True Tube Live bus come pulling into town, then, huh?
Oh
Right?
wow. Could you imagine that?
Yeah,
But I
I
don't
could
know. That's
Weight
imagine
class.
that.
hold on.
I
I don't
might
know
know
because
a
that
guy that knows a guy.
well that doesn't really count because that's a tour bus and we don't live there. So we can park it on the street in front of somebody's house. It
Well, we're rock
doesn't matter.
stars.
We don't live there.
We're rock stars. So, yeah.
Yeah, well,
We're
yeah.
lost.
I think the way that it reads is you could park there, but it has to be for loading and unloading, and
Yeah,
you've
we can
only
do
got
that.
so many hours a week that you could have it there. So it can be here, but and I don't know offhand, probably 72 hours through a week's period of time, but it has to be immediately loading and unloading. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
My bus parked out
Well,
here
and
four
it should
Yeah,
years.
but
be public information publicly available, that ordinance, right? Like, I mean, we're
Yeah,
speculating right now, but I mean, it should be easy to obtain, but yet I don't see it on their website anywhere. So I don't know.
well
Maybe
every
I didn't look hard enough.
no, I found ordinances and stuff, but every time I try to download it, the file won't open. I can't figure it out.
Right.
I've tried
Yeah.
different platforms too on how to open it too, like Word, whatever, and I can't get it to open. So I can't see like their general ordinances or anything like that. So
and
I
I
mean
can
that
send
maybe
you
it's just
copies of
me.
those.
Yeah, maybe it's just me, but I can't do it. So
Right.
but it's kind of crazy. But I mean that's not even the craziest thing that they've done to Vern over here. I mean they've hit him with freaking 80-page restraining order. I mean that's pretty crazy, bro.
burn, burn, you're a menace.
Yeah, every time I tell someone 80 pages on a restraining order, they look at me all crazy like I'm a molester or something. Is And I don't even have a raincoat.
They when they filed this, it was done deliberately through lies to keep me off the town council. They filed it exactly 1 month before I took the actual seat. I was already in office, but it was to have to where the I have to be 100 foot away from Tyra. Now, whenever I went down and I got copies of it, I was told that the court that she's a habitual victim or professional victim, one of the words. Anyway, she uses the courts against men, which is really an insult to women that really do need these restraining orders. She in here that I've called her multiple times that I'm just such a threat to her. I pulled my phone records for 2 years, and the only phone call between my phone number and hers was where she called me on a Sunday and talked to me for 20 minutes. And then, man, it just goes on and on. It's crazy. She used emails and Facebook pages where I was campaigning for the office and talking to the townspeople as threats against hers. And included in that was an email from Dan Hyatt, marked confidential, that she made public knowledge when she filed it against me. But he's telling her that none of this, all of this is my First Amendment rights, that I have a right to speak to my constituents. And I could basically, as long as I'm telling the truth, could say what I want. And he told her flat out, leave it alone. Yet she still goes and files it as a complaint. To me, that's your attorney's telling you, leave this alone, yet you still run with it. So it's crazy.
Well, obviously,
But
she
the
doesn't
worst part
listen
to
to
this,
Dan.
though, is I can't get the town council to listen. For 4 months now, I've been trying to bring this up on the agenda so I could publicly accuse her of filing false restraining order. And that last paper she signed on that says under the penalty of law. And from my understanding, it's a felony for a woman to file these papers falsely.
Right.
They're blocking it from getting out to the public until now.
Yeah. Well, and that was partial for this, man. So that way maybe we can coax some of the other people to come out. My email is youpeoplefreepress@gmail.com. Anybody can email me. If you want to stay anonymous, stay anonymous. If you have actual factual information, paperwork that you can show me, stuff like that you want to rebut with me, cool. I'm all about conversation. I really am. I really am. I would hope that more people would come forward and let us know what's going on, because when I get a comment in one of my videos, and I'm not going to name the name off the name, but when they say, "Hey, Virgil is the water supervisor. He could probably give you a lot of information on the water and how it's handled and the storage tanks and whatnot and so forth." But then she put in parentheses, "if Tyra will let her or let him." Right. I'm like,
Virgil's a good man.
whoa, hold on a second. Right.
And
And it's like, well,
and guys,
wait, if
I'm easy. I'm easy. My email, goodcitizenmedia133@gmail.com. Same thing. I take anonymous emails all the time. I I look into them.
right. I mean, it just says something when somebody is commenting like that and they put in parentheses, if this person will let him. Like,
Well, and we
it's
heard
not
that on the
about,
streets.
it's,
We heard that on the streets with our ears too, right?
we did, but
In
we
So
didn't
writing.
believe it. I mean, we thought it was just, small town people going at people at first. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were trying to
Yeah.
put the puzzle pieces together because we're also getting information that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the storage tanks. They're fine. They're not rusting. Nothing's going on with them. Everything's fine. That's some of the information that we were getting, but obviously it's not
the
true.
water's good. The water's good to drink. Some people drink it. That's information we've gotten. Some people do drink the water. They said that they drink it
Yep.
and they're
I'll,
just
I'll
Yep.
fine with
send
it.
you. I'll send you as many jugs of it as you want.
I
Personally,
mean,
we even buy bottled water for our dog. wife and I won't touch this, but
Right.
that's everyone's choice. But if you guys are thirsty, you know,
I did see a comment where somebody asked if there was lead in the water and how to find out, and there was never no response to it.
Well, and that was my big question on the video that I had posted earlier about the whole wording of that, everything that's on their website. I mean, the wording is just to protect the city so that way they don't get sued. That's not an opinion, that's the truth. It's a legal document. It's
right,
it's worded to protect them. The city's not, I'm sorry, the state's not stupid.
right,
The
right.
people
Right.
running the city right now, they don't know what the hell they're doing. In my opinion, they have no clue what they're doing. They're hiding from us. They're not contacting us. The mayor hasn't contacted us, and I've tried calling them. The mayor's number isn't even on the website. It just goes straight to Tyra.
Well, here was
That's
one
the
of my
first number
complaints.
that you can call.
Yeah, well, and Tyra's the only one that you could get in contact with. The councilmen aren't even listed. All the councilmen aren't on that website. Our email addresses, she refuses to put our government email address on the town page because she doesn't want us to have contact with the people. And on top of that, she has access to our email.
Right. Whoa, hold on a second. She has access to your email?
To our government email, yes.
I don't know about government email. She might be allowed. I don't know. Good citizen, is that an allowed thing if they're all government and it's a government email?
Well,
I'm,
I
I'm
can't.
not sure. I'm not sure. I can
As far as I
speculate.
know, yeah,
That's
and
fine.
I could too. That's all I'd be doing.
Right.
My argument with
Uh,
them, though, is I don't want you reading my email. If someone, a constituent, wants to speak to me about how they're being treated with the town, that's nobody's business but between me and that person. And then me as a councilman, it's my job to approach the town and to make it right for this person who doesn't want to be thrown under the bus.
Right.
Problem is
I mean,
this.
there's a possible Fourth Amendment violation there. I mean,
Yeah, and I've looked at that.
there's a possibility.
Right. It's so hard to nail them on everything because one person makes all the decisions. I even read in one of the minutes that they had for a meeting, I believe it was like December of last year, that Tyra, all of the mail-in ballots are mailed to her, that she has the authority to pick who counts the ballots. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This isn't you just get a
It's
ballot and go in and you drop it into a box and then a committee counts this. She gets to pick who counts the ballots after she receives them through the mail. It's how
I
crazy
heard
can that be?
I heard of
We're
a
supposed to
person
have
like
three
this once. I heard of I'm sorry, I
Adolf.
didn't mean to interrupt. No, not Adolf. I heard of a person like this once. Uh, didn't he run Cuba for a while?
Fidel. Okay, yeah, yeah,
For
right.
real. Like, how does everything run through just this one person?
Through the ordinances that were passed. One of them that gave her the most power was done under an emergency clause that it wasn't even read to the public, that gave her unlimited power. The people did not even know. And the people who were on the board now are the same ones that's there protecting her now. This has been going on for
Wow.
years. And it's been
Well,
like the mayor and his wife have been on the board for 8 years apiece, and then he term limited out, so he ran for mayor. No one run against him. Everyone's so fed up here, and what my attempt was, my strongest attempt, was to get people to pay attention and to
right.
run for the office. We don't get paid anything for this mess. You do it for the community. But if you step up to do it for the community, and right now I've got 3 court cases against me, My attorney's like $2,500 a court case. I'm I'm on Social Security and I get a pension from the VA. I'm on a fixed income. I don't have the money to spend to $2,500 because my bus is obstructing traffic. I still had to spend the money even though I'm not guilty. So they
Right.
won. I'm not guilty, but they won. They beat me out $2,500 of my retirement money after my background. To me, it's an insult that a town would be able to do that. And that's only because I'm willing to step up. The other folks around, most of us are on fixed income. This is elderly people here. Yet, we can't afford this. And they know it. Every little bullshit thing that he pushes off on me, trying to act like he's really somebody, he's beating me out of my retirement. He's beating me out of my way of life right now. And that
Right.
really sucks that some idiot can step in and he's taken from my family. Is I would like to be able to go like out to California this year. Ain't going to happen this year. And at my age, I don't have many next years left. To me, that's freaking wrong. That's worse than anything that they do. And they walk over us, and people let them because they don't want to be the one in the bullseye. Can't
Right.
blame them.
No,
I
can't
even
blame
tried. I
people at
even
all.
asked at one point for contributions for my legal fees. Then they put in the ordinance that I'm not allowed to get contributions.
What?
Yeah. And I'm going to send you these ordinances tomorrow. But it specifically says that anything of any value has to be approved by the town administrator. Yet she could live.
Tyra.
She could, yeah, Tyra.
Then how are you
She
supposed to
could
contact
live.
these people when they don't answer the phone, and they don't return emails, or even to contact us? We want to hear from you on their webpage. They just don't respond. I wonder how that's supposed to work.
Well, I've got people that's volunteering to help me with the legal fees, but I'm in a position I can't do something illegal while I'm bitching about do things legal. And as long as
Right.
that
But
ordinance says I can't take the money, I can't take the money.
right. And that's understandable, my man. I mean, you can't do it. And that's the way that they should be acting as well. I mean, come on, good citizen, let them know about that what was it? The state yard, and then it went out into the city. I mean, seriously, dude, there was like weeds like taller than me, and I'm about 5'11", 5'10",
Yeah,
5'11".
Well, the town
Freaking
yeah, it just needs a
administrator
little
lives
weed
in,
whacking. It was
well,
hiding a bunch of stuff in there. I don't know what, but there was a bunch of stuff out there. But I'm sure it's in compliance, right? Because it'd be the city and the state responsible for that. So
Well, we'll talk about compliance here. So, isn't there somebody that like makes sure people are in compliance in that town?
we're going to the code enforcer. That's something else.
We'll switch topics here, man. So
You
let's
know
switch
what?
topics over to this crooked code enforcer that they got going on. How did this guy get appointed?
Well, the rumor is that, and I'm not going to go with the rumor. I'm going to get sued for that one. Anyway,
No, your
Tyra,
opinion. Your opinion.
oh, my opinion, it's a Tinder
Your
date gone
opinion.
bad. Yeah, my opinion is the Tinder date gone bad. And he got hired here, and we're paying all this money to have uh, code enforcement to run around writing tickets for grass. How tall is your grass? Yet we supply him a town vehicle to go back and forth to Colorado Springs every day, and he gets paid very well. You know, Plus he carries a firearm, or did until complaints came in. Okay, am I the
Sorry
only
about
one
that.
here?
I had to go get some Pepsi,
Yeah,
man. Sorry, man. I had to go get some Pepsi here really quick. It's kind of hot in my little shed here.
there you go.
I mean, everybody asks me
you
why I
guys have
never
a
wear a
table now
shirt.
still. You guys. He
Everybody
does
asks
still have
me
his
why I
taser.
never wear a shirt.
Oh yeah, yes. That's why there's no shirt. There you go.
Yes, I am literally sitting outside in a little shed that's meant for tools that I made my little studio, which you don't need a very big studio. I'm sorry, you. So I mean, I fit in here. All my stuff fits in here, and I can be comfortable, smoke my cigarettes, and chill out. So
Right.
hate on me if you will, but I live shit-tastic, and it doesn't matter because I'm moving up to Pueblo. I'm moving up to Pueblo. Aguilar's going to see
Yeah.
me a whole lot more, man. What you think that you ain't got jobs? That was my favorite. That was my favorite comment. Burn out of everybody that
You
came
will
out of
live.
that
You
town.
will live much closer than Adam, the code enforcement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much
He
closer,
he'd have to drive by you every day
Every
right?
day.
at our
So
expense. But
I mean, it's ridiculous. Like I said in the live before, this is no joke because me and Good Citizen witnessed it. He is rolling around in a pretty much brand new Chevy SUV with a cage. It says emergency call 911 on it in ghost paint, right? But there's no seals. There's no like, county seals. There's no badges on it. It just says emergency 911. It's got the whole spotlight now. I mean, this thing looks like complete legit. If it was following you down the highway, you'd be fucking shitting a brick. And apparently that's what
Yeah,
this guy
you see
does.
it in
He
one of
just
our
follows
videos.
people around town and fucks with them.
and he
Then I've
does
seen
that
that. I've seen
exactly.
that comment too. He follows people right to people's homes. He'll just to see where they're going, what they're doing. Sometimes they'll stop them and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I've seen comments like that.
Mm-hmm.
When his
Yeah.
But
badge is in big letters on top says Aguilar officer. In small print towards the bottom of it, it says code enforcement. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. As you're acting, you're dressing, you're acting, you're pretending to be a policeman. And this was brought up at a council meeting, and the town council approved of this man's action and the idea that he carries a gun. Until the other day, whenever he was here, that I've got on video, we were in a little confrontation over my yard that doesn't need to be mowed, and we had separated. The conversation was over. I was in my truck. He was 30 foot away getting into his. Then all of a sudden, I hear him yelling, uh, "You got a problem with me?" And comes charging back up to me with his hand on his gun. I'm like, you know what? I'm on oxygen. I'm 66 years old. This young man thinks that he needs to threaten me with a firearm. Anyway, he got his firearm took away. He can't carry it
well,
no more.
that's
But it's
awesome that it got
crazy.
taken away, man.
Yeah.
Like
Well, after they see this, I'll probably give it back to him.
probably.
Mm.
Probably,
It's
but I also
crazy,
hear
but
they need a marshal down there too. So, I mean, I
well,
was
the
more
last
than
two
willing to take the
marshals that they
position.
hired, yeah, one of them was so
He's
drunk he
seen it.
shows up at a call and he fell out of the cop car. The other one went to the high school and without the parents' permission, tased like 7 of the children. I mean, how
What?
stupid. Yeah, he uses taser at the high school on the students because they wanted to see what it felt like to be tased.
Whoa,
I mean,
okay, so that's now like the third person that's told me that story, and it's the
oh,
same
this is a true
exact
story.
wording.
This is a true
It's
story.
the same exact wording, but I can't find
Yeah.
any documentation on it because I don't think
Oh, you
anybody
won't
ever
find none.
reported
No,
it.
they covered that up. Now, the one guy that was the gym or the shop teacher there, they fired. Actually, they put him on the school board for a while, and eventually he lost his job and became the bus driver. The marshal got fired right away, but at least the man had a backup of the school board, so it's
Right?
crazy here.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, like the whole small town thing was already crazy enough to me. You know what I'm saying? Like how small it was, right? And
Right.
how much history is like based just in that town
Yeah,
alone.
Little Chicago.
Crazy.
Before that was the Ute Indians, Cowboy and Indians. Like the history is long there. Yeah,
And
It,
and then
tunnels, tunnels under the town, caves out there for storing the liquor. Man, like the history is long, long, and it's interesting. I mean, that place could really be something for tourism. You know, like people go to Nashville for Elvis, right? Why wouldn't they? Yeah. Anyway,
well, you'd have to have some proof. Like, there's not a single picture of Joe Bonanno or Al Capone, and that, there's no proof of any of this. Yes, there are tunnels under some of the places here in town that have been filled in, and they basically went from the businesses to other buildings and out to the creek in the back. Rumor is, though, the tunnels went all the way to Walsenburg and down to Trinidad, and Al Capone ran the place and bootlegged out of here and all this. Then, I like a good story, but you would think somewhere along the way there'd be one picture of Al Capone. I haven't
here,
seen
maybe,
any.
maybe not. I mean,
I don't
maybe
know.
not. I mean, that federal agent got his head blown off in the middle of the street too, right? The bank got robbed first day it was open, right? They got caught with the stills in the basement, right? Like, there's a lot of history that could be there.
Could be.
There could be, and I
Yeah,
guess I shouldn't try to shut it down, but I've never, I'm more into, I like facts,
I
as
hear you.
and
I
there's
hear you.
could be, could not be. It's fun for the town. They enjoy the story. So there's
I'd
even
like to
supposed to
see the
be a
tunnel.
ghost woman that walks down the middle of Main Street. Don't know.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of history in that heritage center. There's a lot of old newspapers. We came across a newspaper that said that had an article about a kids kite contest. When's the
Yes,
last time you've heard of a kids kite contest?
when
I
I
mean,
was a
that's
kid.
right. Like that's pretty old, man. Like, and it was from
Thanks.
1930. It was from 1939. I mean, that
Yeah,
paper, not you.
we got
The
some
paper was
history.
from 1939, and it was like, wow, man, 1939. That's pretty crazy. So, I mean,
Oh, surrounding us is all kinds of history. This is a good town. There's good people here. There's good families here. It's just a few in the government that's screwing it up for everyone. There's been miners around here, people that worked on the railroad, and I'm sure a bootlegger or two, or three or four.
right.
And I'm seeing here some of the things that he did have deep roots in Colorado and probably did. There's rumors of Joe Bonanno being
Yeah,
here. I can't.
In Walsenburg too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for sure. They also claim.
Right.
Well, then if Trinidad and Walsenburg were the going to back then, this was a pretty good sized town. I think up to like 800 people, and they did have several bars in town, and there was a lot of coal miners, and there was a lot
Bat
going on back then.
Masterson. Bat
Yeah, that was
Masterson.
Trinidad. Yeah.
No, no shit.
Yeah.
He was right down here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that town could be revitalized, my friend. I mean, there's a lot attracting to that town. I mean, it's a very small town, but that doesn't mean it can't build up a little bit and come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was kind of sad when I went into the Heritage Center and he's like, "Hey, do you want a postcard?" I was like, "Yeah." So I grabbed a postcard and it had this really cool Aguilar, Colorado sign with like a coal miner, a cowboy, an Indian
Hmm.
statue. Like, I mean, it was a really cool statue. I'm like, "Charles, man, where is this? I haven't seen this." And he goes, "It's torn down." It's
Right.
like the people that are running the town don't want you to know that the town is there except for on the highway sign.
Well,
And
those
if you don't
pictures that
know,
I have, yeah, the ones I have on my Facebook group of the Foster Stagecoach Station, it's just outside of Aguilar. It's amazing. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of good history. It's just the
it's the crazy
dictatorship
stuff
set
going
in.
on
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
and all this town needs is a new council and a new town administrator. It is moving up. The Ace Hardware came in here for whatever reason. He spent millions of dollars here in town, and which would be a good tax write-off for a businessman. But there's no real business to sustain uh, the population. You can't bring business in if you can't get people to work, and
Right.
that's where our problem is with that aspect. So we've got grant money coming in for an augmentation pond of a little over $5 million, and the town has to pay the loan on that. Well, there's a
Right.
big argument now about, well, I said that the loan was going to run $10,000 to $11,000 a month, and where are we going to get the money to repay this loan? And I told them, whenever I came up with, these are made up numbers. I don't know what they are. I'm just trying to get my head around what the town's going to have to pay. Well, it seems
Well,
like we already have one USDA grant that was given to us that was for a little bit over $1 million that we're paying for at 4.75% interest over 40 years. That's $6,000 a month. So why would I not think $2.8 million is going to cost us an additional 10 to 11,000? That's
right.
going to put us at paying USDA $16,000 a month. Now, whenever you start getting into those numbers, code enforcement going to have to write a hell of a lot of tickets for grass. There's no income here. This town has no. The Ace Hardware's coming in. You're talking about hiring 10 employees, 15 maybe, 20 between the two businesses. That's the
Right.
biggest business they've had here in years. And
Right.
we got 3 churches and 1 bar, so it's kind of a little off kilter there.
Well, it seemed very off kilter. That's why I was taken off by the town, because I'm like, how the hell do they operate? Period. I mean, seriously, there was no jobs there. If you wanted a job, you were going outside at least an hour to a town that had a population. I mean, not that they don't have a population. They got a population of 400 and something, but there's no stores open there. The only 2
Right.
stores are the new mercantile store that I saw, and the Ace Hardware, plus the 2 taxidermy shops, and then the one like pretty much like homemade Goodwill done by a pastor who is like put that in there so that way people had cheap clothes to go and buy than having to like travel to go to Walmart to get it, and they're getting all those off a donation. And then they also help out with food boxes every month. I mean,
Yes.
it's a pretty small operating town. In fact, even the Heritage Center doesn't even, from what I was told, doesn't have electricity running to it at all. So they're only
Or
open
water.
during the day. They're open during the day with all their windows open, no AC, no nothing. I'm like, I felt so bad for Charlie. I really, Charles. I really did. I felt so fucking bad for Charles. But I mean, he loves it.
It was
He loves having
it was a
people
cool
come in.
place, and he was, yeah, he was a good character, man. Like he's definitely an asset to that place because of his character is welcoming. Like I felt welcome. I mean, I know that. I felt
Right.
welcome
Yeah.
until we hit the town hall. Like I felt so welcome, and I mean, I even with Vicky and Steve, I felt welcome. I didn't feel like get out of my town, but yeah, kind of did feel that way after getting to the town hall, right? Like
Well,
that was
it didn't.
crazy.
Well, it didn't feel so much at the town hall, but it definitely felt that way when, we were talking to certain people. Like you got the feeling like everything's fine here, go away. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? But when everything is run through one person, I wanted to ask you, Vern, I was like, how come you're handling all these statistics when she's the treasurer?
You wouldn't believe my memory. It's I'm the type I could read something once and I remember it.
Right.
And these are numbers I've been going over with for a year and a half with them, trying to get my answers myself. Where's
Oh,
this money
okay.
coming from? I've spent $180,000 invested into this town 6 years ago, thinking, hey, this is a perfect spot for me to retire. There's fishing close by, there's hunting. It's a small town. It's a beautiful home that I have that in Colorado Springs, I would have paid 400,000 for it. So I was just ready to retire. I kind
Right.
of got pushed into this by friends and people around here that just they're afraid to speak up for themselves. And through military and everything else I went through, I'm just the guy, I guess, that gets picked.
Right.
Is so that's how I'm
Yeah,
into it.
they definitely threw you on us or us on you, however you want to see that. So quick, you know.
Yeah,
Vernon sent you like that.
Mhm.
That was crazy. I had never even spoken with you before. I would have gladly done an interview that day. We walked down there by your house. We rung your bell. Um, no, no answer. So we just kept walking around, talking to everybody on the streets, anybody who would talk to us. But they sure did assume that you sent us. I mean,
yeah,
that was
and
funny.
yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you came here. You're bringing out a lot of things for everyone. You're giving people information. What's wrong with information? Is you're
And it's
giving them
factual to the best of our knowledge, right? Like until better knowledge is presented to us, we can only go off from what's publicly there, right?
I
right.
mean, I ran my video by Good Citizen and a couple of other people before I posted my video this morning on my interpretation of what's on their website, and I was asked to take it down twice
Take it
Yeah,
down.
because it's not factual. I'm like, no, it is factual because if it wasn't, I would have taken it down. If there was any way that it wasn't my opinion or somewhat factual, somebody would have told me and said, no, don't post that
yeah, and
because
I
then
know
that
what you're
makes us
Well,
talking
look
about.
dumb. And we do our
Yeah,
backup checks, man. We always consult with other people that have more knowledge than we do.
right. Well, the town workers here are under a bully. So it's anything that could be thrown at them. It's like what they throw at me. Only these people's livelihood comes from this town,
And
so
I
they have
understand
to
that.
they have to be bullied. Me, I'm retired as Social Security, veteran pension, so I don't give a shit. I don't get paid for being on town council. I don't get paid for all the headache they put me through. It's just I'm not the one that you're going fuck you. I'll
Go
clean up
ahead.
some.
I don't
I'm
care.
not the one.
No, we curse
I'm
on this channel like sailors. We're men
there. You
and
go.
women.
yeah,
Women curse like
this is
sailors
like,
too.
I'm
hey,
not the
our
one
show's
you're going
like
to fucking
Saturday
push
Night
around.
Live.
Is I'm a grown man. I've lived my life. I've made my mistakes. I've done good through my life. I've supported my family. None of them was ever on welfare. You know what? And I own my home. So,
Right.
if they're wanting to throw me off the council because I had a felony charge 33 years ago for forgery, you know what? I'm more of a man than any of them. I came
Well,
through my problems. I made something of myself, and I'm not ashamed.
no,
It's you
and
want to
you
go
shouldn't
sneaking
be
around.
ashamed.
I'm not. What mistake I made
Yeah.
was I sold some driver's license. As I was good at forgery. I paid my price 33 years ago. They're here actively committing felonies and then want to throw rocks at me. And I was raised in East St. Louis. These people here have got nothing that scares me. It's even Tyra. One of the ladies threatened to kick my ass from the town hall, and I was thinking, you have really got to be kidding me. You're actually going to go jump an elderly man on oxygen and physically assault him? Uh,
Well, we got the
it's
same threat from a 21-year-old that said that we're lucky that they didn't pull up. I don't know what they were going to do other than maybe destroy my camera and catch a charge, but I mean,
right.
like I don't know what they were going to do. I mean, I don't hit females, but I mean, seriously, like what were you going to do? You were going to run up and beat up two guys randomly that you don't know that never seen like and
Yeah. Well,
obviously
and
we're
what was she
causing
gonna
problems.
roll up on? Or
Yeah,
rollerblades or bicycle or
I
Toyota? Like what? I don't know.
I don't know
I
The
either.
don't
one
know.
thing I
We
thought was funny is they were complaining, or they were something about a video of you recording them, recording you, recording them. I thought, yeah, this this is a vicious
because
circle,
Well, because I put it out there that I want the video now, and
right?
and I
Yeah,
I put it out there formally with Dan that I want that video. If she deletes that video, that is evidence tampering. You created a public record. You work for City Hall. You told me to get out,
she
stop
was on
recording,
the
delete
clock.
my footage, and you were on the clock while you were recording me, which makes it a public record. Just for your knowledge. So I
Well,
have
I do have every
formally
intention
requested
of
it.
filing. Yeah, I'm going to file a lawsuit on them myself. I've talked to my attorney about this, and I've already said before, and I'll stick by it. I don't want their money. It will be donated to the American Legion here in Aguilar to help them to get a hall so that they can help veterans.
Fern,
As
what
everyone
it,
keeps thinking, well, what are you getting out of this? I'm getting nothing out of it. I'm getting the satisfaction of I'm helping people get their freedom.
right?
Our
That's
duties
what
are
I'm
never done.
Well, and what would you think about an ADA compliant ramp that on the outside where you can see it from the street, it said you people, but it like went down. What would you think about that? Do you think that if I donated an ADA ramp, you'd like that in your town? I'm just wondering.
I would, and they're trying to bring in a contractor that's I don't know who this guy is. It's going to be at the next meeting about an ADA compliant ramp, and that's what it says. But they've only took one bid on this thing, and to me, my mind says, you know what? I know ADA compliant. ADA compliant says I've got the right to walk in the same damn door as you do. So you can't
Right.
just throw a ramp in the back of this building and expect me to go around there and be disrespected after I've served my country. And you want to send me in the back door, and I won't ride on the back of the fucking bus either.
Right. Well, ADA compliant means that it has to be accessible for both normal, I don't know how to say it without offending anybody. Without people without disabilities compared to people with disabilities, it doesn't
Everyone's
matter.
got the right
It's
to use the
supposed
same door.
right,
I would love
whether
to
it's
see
the
you
back
on
door or
there.
the front door. So technically, I mean, they've got a back door. I saw the old marshal's office with the back door,
Hmm.
but it more looks like a break area where they were smoking more than
And it
it's
was, and they could fix the building to where that the front of the place is fixed back up to the standards of the historical society, but they could face their door to the side road and everyone use that as an entrance. That would be ADA compliant as long as you get the wheelchairs in there. Right
right.
now, they don't give a shit what anyone here thinks about it. They post notices on the door, and you've seen the steps going up there.
Right.
Older people can't get up and down them, and then they brag that they put the notices in the post office. Anyone in a wheelchair,
The wasp nest is a nice touch. That's
well,
cute.
you know what? But the bulletin board is so high, no one in a wheelchair is going to be able to see it. Then they
Right.
run the notices in the Trinidad paper. They don't sell the Trinidad paper here. They sell the Walsingbird paper. So any public knows we don't know what's going on around here unless we have someone that tells us because they have the paper delivered. And you might think that we'll have the paper delivered, but this community is low income and elderly.
Right.
You know,
And that and I tried to make that point. I think the most I heard was like 20 small children and only 5 high schoolers graduated last year. Like
it's
there's only like
$3.5 million to run this school for a year, and there was like 3 students that graduated. We have people on the
oh,
school board that won't send their kids to this school. If you go out and look at a parking lot, it looks like a new car lot.
well, Yeah, we did. We walked up and down all the streets of the town because, again, this town is not very big. So we walked all the streets of the town to check it out for code enforcement because that's really what got our attention. It wasn't even the water. It was more about the story of the code enforcement guy running around with a gun, badge, and fucking handcuffs, and a company or a state vehicle that he travels all the way up to Colorado Springs in, paid by Aguilar. That's
Right.
what brought us in. And then we heard about water, and we're like, okay, we'll check out water. And then that's turned into Tyra Tyrant, and then Tyra Dictator. My opinion. So seriously, like everything runs through this one person. Ever since that we walked in
If
there,
you're watching,
Burn.
Tyra,
Yeah,
feel free to contact us, tell your side of the story. We're not
please.
trying to suppress you. We will allow
That's
you the
all we
same
want.
respect that we allowed Burn.
You can
Hey
come
guys,
up
I've
on
been
panel,
talking
or
to
you
you
can
for about an
contact us
hour.
through email. I'm
You guys
sorry,
got
Bert.
any
Go ahead.
questions for me?
No, I think
Um,
we're good, my man. We just
yeah,
wanted to get some background on what was going on, like truthfully from somebody that's on the panel, you know what I'm saying? Because it's so hard to get a straight story from anybody, and then we're getting a lot of flack, and it's like, okay, well, we can't put out a straight story unless you tell us what's going on. But apparently, there's a city ordinance that you can't talk against Tyra.
I don't know. They'll
So
start jumping in now. Now that I've gave my part of the story, they're going to try to contradict it. You're going to get you. You should get an email or some communication. They're not
oh,
going
I'm
to
pretty
just let
sure I
me
will.
run my mouth without jumping in.
Oh no,
It's
I'm pretty sure we'll get our emails of, hey, he was completely wrong, blah blah. I'm pretty sure, but you know what? That's absolutely fine. There's their story, there's this story, and somewhere in between, all the information adds up, and it's the same, and that's what we can pertain from a story. But if we
right,
can't get a full story straight out, we might get some facts wrong, but we'll say allegedly, may, could,
right.
to protect ourselves by law so that way we don't get fired. Or opinion. Opinion's a big one with
Right.
us. We like our opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, hello.
Yeah, this is just this crazy stuff. I do appreciate you guys coming here. And if there
We
was a
appreciate
big
your
plaque on
service,
that
Burn.
ramp, yeah,
We
if you
appreciate your
guys
service
helped
and
them
coming
get
up
a
here,
ramp
Burns.
in there, is I would be very happy to see your name on it.
Right?
Give
Well,
credit
if
where credit's due. You know what? These people deserve the right to access to their government. Just because you're
right,
disabled doesn't mean that they've got a right to dictate to you, and have no contact other than if you could get a phone call to them, if
right.
the administrator's in, and you got to guess which 2 to 3 days a week she's working to get a word in. So, well, excuse me, she works from home, I guess they call it. She's not at her. There's a town hall. There's an office for her. My opinion, she should be there 5 days a week. She gets paid for that. Well, I'm going to work from home today, and she's not doing the town a service. She's not doing the people a service. So,
So do you
but
know, just for quick reference here, do you know if the number that is listed on the website is her cell phone number? Because if that goes straight to the city hall and she's not sitting at the desk and she's working from home, I can understand why she's not answering calls now.
yeah, well, two of the phone numbers they have listed, one of them goes to a fax line, and the other is the actual phone there. Her cell phone number is
Don't give out the cell phone number on here. Don't do
oh
that.
no, no, I
Don't
yeah,
That's doxing. Yeah, don't do that. We don't do that.
yeah.
No, I was just
It
wondering
might not
because
stop ringing.
it might not stop ringing. But on top of that, we could possibly get in trouble for it. So I'm not touching
You
that
know,
one
and,
with a
and
10-foot
I
pole.
I even respect her right. I respect her rights. I don't want to do anything that's beyond her public duty. She's got an
Right.
obligation as a public servant
Well,
to be
it,
responsible.
if that cell phone is paid for by the taxpayers, then that's a whole another story. Then we can put that number out there. Um, that is different. But if it's our
We're not.
personal cell phone, then that's also different. So
Yeah,
Right.
we're just not going to touch it right now. Anyways, I was just
yeah,
wondering, Vern, we'll let you go, man. We've been going for about an hour now. I understand, man. You're probably good. You've got out all the information that you can give us, but there's always
Yeah, it
more
was great talk.
information. Oh, very great talk, man. Thank you for coming up and thank you for your time and thank you for your service.
thank you.
Greatly
Well,
appreciate it.
and
Appreciate
we appreciate all of you. I just see Joe Cole leaves a message every once in a while down here, but
Yeah,
I appreciate all three of you being up here. You know, everyone that does anything. Aguilar is a good town. It's a good place to live. It's just sometimes your government gets a little sidetracked, and as soon as they get pulled back into where we have our rights, it's going to be a perfect home.
yeah.
Hope so.
I hear you, man. I hear you. It will be. I mean, that's a beautiful place out there, bro. And if it could just run right, something's telling
Right.
me that it's just
No,
not running
the
right,
people
bro.
were wonderful. I mean, as we walked down the street, everybody was nice, pleasant. Uh, nobody was rude to us. Seemed like a nice
Other
little
than
place.
online, other than online, but
Yeah, online, online. Yeah,
so
that was different.
yeah. But all right, guys, we'll cut this out. Vern, thank you very much again for coming up. I greatly appreciate it. Good Citizen Media, always a pleasure, and I can't wait to move up there and hang out more with you. Get into a
There
little
you
bit
go.
more trouble, ruffle a little bit more feathers. We're gonna have some fun, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
finally
man.
good to
Thanks
meet
for
you.
having me.
Yeah, it's great to meet you too, Vern. I've been following your Facebook posts, man, and you're hilarious. I love them. I
Yeah.
love them. But I didn't
Yeah,
want
I
to.
didn't
I
know
didn't
it's
want to
hilarious.
use any of them because I didn't. Again, we weren't connected. This all happened like me, Vern, and Good Citizen. This all happened because of the hate on the internet. So thank you,
Yeah.
haters, for bringing us together. We appreciate that. I mean, we had a hell of a
So,
conversation here and got some good information out. If anybody
Yeah.
else has any stories, you know that you can contact me or Good Citizen. We'll take the stories with a grain of salt, trust us. But I mean, if it all checks out and it's all good, I
Grain of
mean, maybe
salt's
we'll
not
use
so
it for
bad with
satire.
Yeah, grain
No,
of
I'm just
salt's
kidding.
not so bad with like a couple of shots of vodka and grapefruit juice, but never mind. That's
Right?
my salty dog recipe. Guys, take it easy,
Yeah.
man. It's a
You
pleasure.
too, brother. Have a great
Thank you.
evening.
You too.
All right,
well,
my man.
there's the story. I mean, there's the story. Sure.
So at least that's one
Hopefully
story.
they'll reach out, right? Maybe they'll reach out with a rebuttal. It'd be nice. They don't have to show their face. Nothing like that. They could come up here and have their hour just the same as Vern did. And I mean, Vernon could be way off. I don't know. I mean, he seems like a nice guy from that conversation, but he's got a good sense
Well,
of humor.
at least he's the first one to actually offer to send me any documentation.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's offered to send me any documentation. I mean, granted, Steve tried to hand us a piece of paper, but Steve could print out a piece of paper in his office. He had the computer for it. I mean, it doesn't take long. And we have to remember that he was the judge there for 30 years. So I'm not taking a sheet of paper from that man. I want it from town hall. I want it from the water supervisor. I want it from town, I want it from town administration, the mayor. That's who I want it from. It's more official that way. That way I can actually put it out there. But if you're going to put stuff out there on your website, I can also put that out there too.
Right. Right. You can get that
That's
up to date and see. See, they said, well, the report follows. It's the following year's report, right? So,
right.
but where did 2021 go? They went straight from 2020 to 2022. So I don't know
Well,
how that
right. I
works
mean,
either. But
well, they had that report for the violation on the storage tank, right? And that was issued 2 years later out that, hey, this is what happened 2 years ago, right? But even up at the top where it was giving you all the general information that I had pointed out and the Good Citizen had pointed out that if you have certain medical conditions. Some elderly and infants are potentially at risk, you know, of whatever from drinking the water. I mean, it's legal jargon, but I still didn't see anything like it had this percent of contaminants, like it had this amount of lead, it had this amount of
Right.
this, it had
No
this.
actual
That's
report.
not
Exactly.
that's not a report. You're just giving people legal jargon to cover the city. That's all you're doing in that. That's not a report.
Right.
Give me something with some statistics on it. Or how about a report on the storage tanks that are more in depth than just, the roof
Or
was damaged.
Virgil. Virgil. He would be knowledgeable, right? I would think if he's allowed to talk.
Well,
You
I do
know.
believe he's commented on a few of my things, but it was to take my stuff down. It wasn't to give me any information. It was just to tell me that I'm all wrong everywhere, shape, way, shape, or form, even though we said our opinion exaggerated because we don't know. It wasn't documented. We don't know how big the cracks were in the top of
Right.
the tank. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right. We don't know if
and
there's a raccoon or a mouse floating. Like it could. You know, we're speculating here. Things that
right,
may happen, may enter. Um, we don't know because nobody showed us how big was the cracks, how big are the rust holes, anything like that, right? We don't know how bad
right,
is the rust scale. Um, what does the water test like from those tanks? You know, um, but we've also had people say they drink it and they're happily drinking it. That so it's it's a mix. There's
right.
a
It's a
mix there.
mix, but somewhere in the
It's
middle
not
there is a real
one way or
story.
another. Right.
But I think what ended up happening, which Tyra didn't want happening, is all the rest of it to fall out with the water, as far as the ordinances that she has created, and the fact that pretty much everything runs through her. And I haven't even heard like anything run through the mayor. So what does the mayor do?
Right. What is the mayor doing?
Right?
Um,
So
I don't.
those are all
I'd
questions.
love to
Go
talk
ahead.
to him too. You know,
Right.
wouldn't
Those are all
that'd be
questions that
cool?
we
Like
have.
interview with the mayor. I mean, maybe Tyra's camera shy or something. Like I say, she don't have to have a camera on. That offer
She doesn't.
stands for any of them. See,
She
I
doesn't
don't
even
have a
have to come
camera
up
on.
here.
You people does. It's okay.
Right? She doesn't even have to come up here. She can just email
No.
us. We don't
Right.
even
Yeah.
have to make.
Most
I mean, if
definitely.
I really wanted to, I could have made a
But
whole bunch of emails public by now, don't you think? I
yeah.
mean, I could have
Right.
like ripped apart certain people. I could have like left their name up there. I could have,
But I'm just
could
making
have.
it clear. We are offering the same platform. Vern isn't getting any special treatment here. If anybody else, wanted to do it this way, that's fine. Like we wouldn't say no. Um, we're not gonna, you know, interrupt you. We'll give you the same treatment we gave Vern. Vern chose to keep his camera on, and Vern chose his topics. Okay, we didn't try to narrate his topics. We would give you the same respect. Or email us. We're easy to get a hold of. Yeah,
Right. I mean, we had a nice, probably about a good half hour, 45-minute conversation with Vern. You know what I'm saying? And we told him flat out, if you don't want your camera on, you don't need your camera on. If you're feeling like you don't want to go up, let me know, and that's it. I won't even mention his name. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll do the same thing for everybody else. If you want to come up and talk, you want to give your experiences out there that you've had in the town of Aguilar. If you're on the council and you have information that needs to get out, but Vern already did it. It doesn't take much to
yeah,
step up and open up your mouth, man. Like the shit can stop. If there's shit, if there's nothing and whatever, I mean, we can only do so much. We can only put out so much information, and frankly, I don't like beating a dead horse if I'm not getting any information. So, but I'm not going to sit there and let this slide either. Like, something is going to happen, something is going to change. Something, because the information
yeah,
needs to get out there. So,
yeah.
either
And
way, I
hopefully
mean,
they'll
they've got our attention.
start recording their meetings, and being transparent. That'd be nice for the future.
If anybody has that
Moving
website,
forward.
by the way, I'm sorry. If anybody has that website, by the way, that where they're supposed to be like publicly putting these out on the web, if you could send that to me, that would be awesome. I would love to restream those every single city meeting, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
it, it
'Cause
would be.
and that's why it's nice to offer the chance up here is because I think probably what Vern knows. I mean, I don't know, but it's more personal when you come up here. It's more personal. It's easier to get your story out than an email or something, right? Like it's coming from your own mouth. Vern's responsible for what he said tonight, and like I say, it's more personal. It means more, to some.
Right. Well, at least we got his information out there. I mean, the guy's pretty legit. Once he sends me some ordinances, best believe the ordinances are going to go up. At least in my community page, maybe. I don't know. I might make a small video out of it. Who knows? I like to do little crazy little things. So we'll see. But I mean, at least it's documentation. It's showing what's going on because I can't access this stuff. And Wolverine, I'm sorry, buddy. There's no link tonight. Seriously, we're about to end it. My wife's home. We're
Yeah,
about to eat dinner.
we're
Uh,
out of here.
yeah, we're out of here. So we're just trying to like strike down the point here and like make sure that it's in there. So everybody, thank you for showing up. Wolverine, Ajot, Critter Catcher, John Smith, Too Tall, Joe Cool, Twyla from Scottsdale. I think I think that's the first time I've seen you, but I'm not sure. Snark and Sass, John Eagle, Too Tall. I said Too Tall, right? I said Too Tall. We'll say it again. We have, well, I'll say Happy Nikki because I don't like the name Witchy Bitchy, but Happy Nikki, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean has been in here for quite some time now. Gregory was here. I'm just trying to make sure I catch everybody. Mikey B, Critter Catcher, Mad Max. Mad Max was the first one in here. So if I missed
Yeah,
anybody,
love to you all.
greatly
Appreciate
sorry.
you.
And greatly appreciate everybody that watched, regardless whether you're subbed or not, and whether you hate me or not. I don't care.
If,
Thank you
if you
very
feel
much
the
for
need,
watching.
share this video. Share it with your friends.
Please,
Maybe they're going through something similar.
right? Or maybe somebody in a smaller town similar could get a hold of us, and maybe we could take a little focus off Aguilar, make them think that we stopped, and then we can come back. Or I'm giving away the game plan.
Yeah.
I'm giving away the game
All
plan. All
right. All right.
right,
We're talking too much. I'm out.
right.
Yeah.
I'm
Peace.
out. Later. Killing me over here.